modern times, the idea that we live in a geocentric universe upon a level stationary plane Earth has been so marginalized, mocked, and ridiculed that even attempting to have a serious conversation about the subject usually results in nothing but a barrage of smirks, sneers, and sarcasm. In some cases, people have even lost their jobs, reputations, or relationships for daring to speak openly about this uniquely taboo topic. Centuries of heliocentric pseudoscience, pushed by the Royal Astronomical Society, NASA, and other official organizations, along with the systematic censorship of geocentric science, has resulted in a stigma where most cannot even consider the subject or have a respectful conversation about it. Instead, the idea is immediately dismissed with utter disdain or exasperation, and the presenter treated as if they must be the most backwater ignoramus of the information age. Thanks to generations of intellectual indoctrination and emotional propaganda, the idea that Earth is the tilting, wobbling, spinning third spaceball from the sun has become unquestionable gospel in the Church of Scientism. Heliocentric priests like Copernicus, Newton, Galileo, Einstein, Hawkins, and others have been elevated to scientific sainthood and their theories canonized as laws. NASA and other space agencies, since their inception, have released countless pictures and videos showing supposed visual evidence for their claims, further cementing the solidity of heliocentric pseudoscience into the minds of the masses. The average modern man is so thoroughly brainwashed by the globe religion that anyone questioning it is perceived as a blaspheming iconoclast or a heretical apostate. Rather than approaching the subject with the open-minded honesty and skepticism of a true scientist, most globe believers act like dogmatic religious fanatics, unable to question their faith. Due to this knee-jerk rejection faced when trying to inform others, the challenge of getting people to reconsider what they have been taught can be an overwhelming task. And due to the harsh, snarky ego defense mechanisms instilled into these loyal globelings, expressing doubts about tenets they perceive as already proven beyond reproach often results in ruined relationships and reputations. Thus, the best way to breach this subject in most situations is indirectly, and if possible, anonymously. There are many effective forms of anonymous activism available to inspired individuals, such as stickers, pamphlets, murals, cards, music, videos, public displays or demonstrations, thumb drives or burned DVDs of documentaries, and physical books or my free audiobooks and videos like Flat Earth FAQ, Flatlantis, The Earth Plane, The Flat Earth Conspiracy, and 200 Proofs Earth is Not a Spinning Ball. Tell your local library or bookstore that you would like them to stock Eric Dubé's books, then give them away as gifts, share them on social media, and loan them to anyone with a curious, open mind. When first engaging someone with this subject matter, it is best to remove yourself from center stage, for example, by putting on a Flat Earth audiobook or album in the background during a long road trip, or putting a movie like Leavell, Flatten the Curve, or The Mechanical Realm on the TV when friends or family are visiting. Rather than immediately trying to engage in discussion or debate about the topic, it is far more fruitful and peaceful to first have them agree to watch an informative documentary together. This takes the focus and onus off of you to answer all of the same questions people always ask when presented with this topic, and allows them to start considering the subject silently while watching a video. Then, afterwards, when they ask you the same few dozen questions that everyone does, instead of attempting to formulate your own concise, articulate answers, just bust out your trusty copy of Flat Earth FAQ and read them verbatim, the chapter titled after their frequently asked question. Every time I have done this, my flabbergasted audience has been left speechless by how thoroughly their objections were addressed and answered. Lastly, if you do decide to engage in back-and-forth discussion or debate, the best way to approach this is undoubtedly through the Socratic method. This involves systematically questioning beliefs, assumptions, and preconceptions, then based on their answers, continuing to ask further leading questions towards the goal of exposing a contradiction, hypocrisy, double standard, or outright impossibility. For example, a good question to begin with is, can you show me a demonstration of a large standing body of water that displays convexity or any shape whatsoever upon its surface? They will either claim NASA pictures count as a demonstration. They will claim water droplets or the meniscus in a glass of water somehow constitute a large standing body of water. They will appeal to the theory of gravity, which allegedly only works at scales too large for them to recreate. Or they will admit that getting a standing body of water to curve around and stick to all sides of a spinning sphere is actually physically impossible. In fact, they will usually try claiming all three of the first straw man arguments before either admitting defeat or changing topics. Next, with a roll of the eyes and an attitude of incredulity, they will usually insist that you explain how this or that would work on a flat Earth. In these situations, I recommend reminding them that the heliocentric globe model is the positive claim being made, believed by the vast majority, and promoted by the mainstream, whereas your position is simply that of someone with questions. Many globe believers have forgotten that asking questions and doing experiments to test for ourselves is the very definition of the scientific method, and exactly what so-called flat earthers are doing down at the lake with our lasers, at the beach with our telescopes, and in high-altitude balloons with our zoom cameras. When globe curvature math is compared and contrasted with practical demonstrations such as these, serious questions with insufficient answers are raised. And as the late scientist Richard Feynman noted, I would rather have questions that cannot be answered than answers that cannot be questioned.
All right. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Heliopsychosis podcast. This is your host, Vikka Draziv, guys. Welcome to the show. If you're first time here, hit that subscribe and like button. And yes, what an awesome show and guest we have today. What you just saw was a video today released by Eric Dubai, which is how the best way to awaken people to flat Earth. And here he has recommended three documentaries, and out of those top three documentaries, two are Flatten the Curve and The Mechanical Realm. I will definitely take that as an honor, uh, especially recommended by Eric Dubai. So shout out to Eric Dubai for that, and shout out to everybody who was involved in the Flatten the Curve and The Mechanical Realm. So what an awesome way to start a flat Earth day. And yes, in the link, you are going to find the link of Gene's coffee and mine too. If you want to invite us to a coffee or if you want to support, you can find that link there. Soon, Gene is going to have some awesome products there too. If you want to support, and I already have a product which I have showed everybody before. This amazing, beautiful copper bottle where you can store your water and drink from it. Electrified water, amazing benefits. You all know about it, the benefits. So by purchasing this, you're gonna have something from Vikka Draziv, and you will be supporting what Vikka Draziv by purchasing this. So do check that out. The links are in the description and is also pinned. And yes, without further ado, I'm gonna bring on my co-host all the way from New York, my brother Gene Edited. How are you, Gene? Are you there, Gene? Oh, Gene is not there. Are you there, brother? Oh, he made it. He made it.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened there. My video guy's fired. I'm
How
proud
are you,
of
brother?
it. I'm great, man. That was such a great intro. Congratulations, bro. That was really cool. checking it out, and next thing you know, it's like, whoa, wait a second, what did he just say? That's really cool. So, bro, another great show tonight, brother. Thanks everybody in the chat. Hi, guys. Really great to see you all. Thanks for coming. Bro, we've been looking forward for this show for a while now. You know, music can touch you in so many different ways, guys, right? We all know that. And tonight we got the pleasure of having a musician on, and with a brand new song out that's coming from the heart. It's on our side, guys. And if you haven't heard the song, you're in for a really great treat. It's a really cool song, and looking forward to the show. So, yeah, brother, let's have it, man. Let's go, bro.
All right, we have the artist. I don't know, maybe some of you people have already heard the song, you know, and you're gonna find all the links here in the description and also in the chat above. We are a pleasure to have him here. He's the creator of a brand new song called Biblical Earth. Brandon Leavell, please welcome, brother, to Heliopsychosis podcast. It's a pleasure to have you. How are you doing, Brandon?
Living the dream, man. Living the dream. It's all good. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. So I met Brendan maybe a few months ago. We connected, like, you know, and I really liked it, what he was doing. So we programmed it that we were also releasing his song on all our platforms. Like, that's what I was saying, that's what we are here for everyone who is doing part of it to bring the truth ahead. So that was one of the reason. And Brendan, tell us, brother, how you started your journey of flat earth, and how long you've been into music. And go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so I'll rewind all the way back to when I started music. So whenever you guys hear this song, if you're familiar with popular 90s and 2000s bands like Green Day, Blink-182, Sum 41, Yellow Card, Jimmy Eat World, these are the bands that I grew up with. And I remember when I was in elementary school, I heard the song Holiday by Green Day. It was off their 2004 American Idiot album. And I just fell in love with the energy levels and the vocals and the guitars. It just sounded so cool. And so Green Day is the reason I started playing. And so whenever you guys hear this song, you're gonna think, oh, that sounds like Green Day. It's because they're the reason I started playing. So it's pop punk, it's rock, it's upbeat, it's energetic, and I think you guys are gonna love the music video. And so I started playing guitar and singing whenever I was. This is back in like 2007, 2008. And then I formed my own band in high school. This was around 2010. And since 2010, I've been playing in my band. My band is called Lasting Effect. But however, this song is released under my name, Brandon Leavell, and I'll get to that here in just a second. Why? Is because 2020 hit, and we saw a lot of interesting things going on in the world around 2020. And so 2020 is when everything started to change for me. My dad sends me this video called... well, actually, let me back up a little bit. He sends me a video about Freemasonry. And so if you look into Freemasonry and how it's a satanic cult, you look into that, and it's just mind-blowing to see how all these celebrities and world leaders get to where they're at through this Freemasonry organization. And I found out that NASA was actually tied to Freemasonry too. And so after learning about Freemasonry, my mind is open to possibilities. And then my dad sends me this other book called The Final Card by the Founded Earth Brothers. And this is whenever everything started to change for me with cosmology, because in this video, it just shows how, you know, NASA, they're astronauts, there's a green screen behind them, there's a guy doing backflips and he's tied to a wire harness, and this other astronaut grabs his wire harness. And so for me, I was thinking to myself, if space was real, you know, NASA's like the pinnacle of space agencies. And so, you know, why would NASA need to fake go into space if space was real? And so that got me questioning everything. And then later on in the video, it talked about the firmament, which was made on day 2 of creation in the Bible. And everything just, you know, spiraled from there. I started looking into flat earth more and more, and I found out it's the actual truth. And, you know, it's changed my life since. Everything's been completely different. You know, it really changes your worldview, literally. And whenever you watch a sunset happen, you realize it's the sun moving further away from you, and it's not you falling backwards at 1,000 miles an hour. And then a couple of years after learning about flat earth, you know, this was about 2022 that I started writing Biblical Earth. Originally, I wanted to do this with my band, but they weren't on board with it because they thought flat earth was dumb and they didn't believe in it. And so I was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do because I want to do this song, but I don't have anyone to do it with. But thankfully, I know of another drummer who I got him into flat earth, and I woke him up, and he was interested in doing the song with me, and he did a fantastic job on this song. So whenever you hear it, I played guitar, bass, vocals, I did harmonies, I did, everything except for the drums. And even the producer helped out a little bit. He did some gang vocals in there on verse 2, and so we did some chants together. But yeah, so that's how we got to where we are today. And then, I spent a lot of time. I've been sitting on this song, man, for the past 4.5 months. I got the final mix of the song back in December. I think it was New Year's Eve. And if you guys know what mixes are, they send you like a sample of what the track will sound like. And we had to tweak it. So I said, we need volume levels raised for guitar here. We need the bass a little bit lower. We need vocals trimmed a little bit. So there's all these edits you got to go through. And it took about 20 different mixes before we got to the final version of the song. And so I was a perfectionist on this song process. And so I was going crazy until it was done. I would listen to it over and over and over again. I've probably heard this song at least 500 times. And so it was a lot of work, but I just remember, I was laying in bed one night and the guy sends me a mix of the song and we're getting close to the end of it. I'm laying down in bed and it's really late. I'm just wanting to go to bed. And he sends it to me and I'm like, I don't want to get up out of bed. I'm just so tired. But I got up out of bed and I listened to it and, I'm like halfway asleep. But then I was like, all right, it sounds pretty good. But I tried going back to bed and I lay down and then I'm just laying there with my eyes closed. I'm thinking, was the lead guitar at the end of the song loud enough? Was it not loud enough? And I knew I couldn't go to bed unless I knew for sure if that guitar was loud enough or not. So I got up out of bed, I listened to the song again, and this is how crazy it drove me, just stuff like that. And then after I finally got the final version of the song back, I started thinking of how I'm going to do the music video, because whenever you do the music video, you want the visuals and the animations to go hand in hand. You want it to match up with the lyrics. And so it took a lot of time. I looked up stock footage websites, Adobe Stock, all these different websites. I downloaded about 75 different videos. And it was a challenge because I had to compile all these videos together to where it fits the mood and the lyrics of the song. And I even spent little details on whenever you see the music video and you see the transitions to the next clip, I even spent time with those transitions. Like there's a transition you'll see on verse 2 where it shows the Antarctic treaty flag. And I did a snow transition because Antarctica are really cold. And so just little details like that, every single thing has a reason in the song. And I'm just really glad that the song's finally out and ready to share with everybody.
Oh yeah, brother, absolutely. You can imagine in a 3-minute song how much hours and hours of work and like processing and getting it right? Just a 3-minute video, right? You can imagine at production level. So yeah, you can imagine 1.5 hour documentaries, how much stress it could create, right?
It's
yeah,
a lot.
absolutely. Yeah, and I like the way you said, like you had to get that drummer before, make him a flat earther to get him to that. He really played with his heart, so you had to like go on and involve people that they really feel it and play the music with you, and not just, okay, I don't like flat earth, but I'm gonna play for you, right? The vibration is not there, right? So
right,
I hope you got that. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we're both passionate about it. We were both really excited for this project. So we put our hearts into it. We put 110%. And the drummer did a fantastic job. I just wanted to say, too, the song is about 3 minutes long. And whenever you have a big topic like flat earth and you want to compile all of this information that you know about it into one song, there's so many different things that you could write the lyrics to for this song. But basically the way I structured it was verse 1 talks about, it gets people to question things, right? That's what you want to do first, is get people to question the reality. So verse 1 gets people to question things. The chorus talks about the biblical earth. It shows the biblical earth model on the chorus. And then verse 2, it exposes NASA. It shows a little bit of them lying and faking space. And then it talks about Antarctica. And then the bridge of the song, it is called Biblical Earth. So the bridge of the song has a few verses from the Bible, and it just, I don't want to spoil too much, but that's what the bridge talks about. But it's a lot of information to compile into one song. But I'm pretty happy with the way that it turned out with everything, the way it's going so far.
Oh yeah, brother.
The video is awesome, bro. The video came out really great.
I appreciate it, Gene.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a combination.
We'll be able to play it later.
What's that?
Yeah. Well,
Are you saying
Go
that
ahead,
you're going to
Gene.
play?
I think we're
Yeah.
having a little bit of Go ahead, Gene, brother.
I was just hoping maybe we could play the video later. I don't know if that's available.
I sent it to
if he
Vikka.
wants.
Yeah, for sure.
Whenever you want, brother. It's right. It's ready when, as you say, hit it, and I'm gonna hit it, brother. Whenever
For
you
sure.
want.
Yeah, we can whenever you guys are ready.
Oh yeah, maybe we can go a little bit in a more before, like, what is your favorite flat Earth reality, which told you like, man, this is it. I'm a flat earther.
You know, I would have to say the final card because that's the video that got me into everything. But I don't know if you guys know this or not. But what happened was, aside from the music, what I did after becoming a flat earther, or I should say biblical earther, and realizing how important it is that I made these business cards. And so I paid my own money to make them. I don't make any profit out of it because I'm just sharing other people's videos. And so what happened was I made these business cards. On the front of it is a picture of the globe, and there's a big red X through it. And it says on the front, "You've been lied to your whole life." And then at the bottom corner of the card, it has a QR code. And if you scan the QR code with your camera, it takes you to a YouTube playlist that I put together. It has videos from David Weiss, it has videos from the Founded Earth Brothers, all these different flat Earth YouTubers. And so I just put all those videos on one giant playlist. And so people scan the card and, they're taking all these videos because you can't just search on YouTube and find that yourself. On the back of the card, it says, "Wake up to the truth." And it has a picture of the flat Earth model, kind of like what you see behind me. And there's another QR code on there, and they scan that, takes them to more videos. And so it's really cool to be able to take those cards. I have fun with it because I go to the gas station, I pump gas, I put my card in there. After I take out my debit card, I put in one of the flat Earth cards. And then the next person that comes to get gas, they're going to check out the card. And then I go to the grocery store and, I'm shopping around. I put these cards on the shelves. And so hopefully whenever people are buying their Coca-Cola, they got a flat Earth card and they can check out some videos while they're drinking their Coke later.
Hey, how do you get a hold of some of these cards?
I went to the website canva.com, CANVA. I made my own picture and everything. I just custom designed it. Okay. And I just made it myself. But I could probably, if you guys are interested, I could send y'all a picture of what the card looks like. I think I could send you the link to Canva, and you'll have the template already. So all you have to do is buy the cards, and then you can just have fun passing it out to your friends and family and people at the stores. And it's a good conversation starter too.
Brandon.
I don't have the link on me on hand, I don't think. Okay. Let me see if I can find it. While we're talking, I'm going to try and see if I can look for it, and I'll put it in the link if I find it here.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
But it's a good conversation starter too. You ask people questions, hand them a card, and you just go at it.
Nice and simple. And they have something to walk away with in their hand too,
Right.
They walk away, they could never think twice about it, that conversation again.
Right.
So that's cool.
Let's see, I think I got the link right here. Let's see, share. Only people can access. Anyone with the link can access. Okay, here we go. I don't know if I need to do if they can edit it or view it. I'm going to do can view. I'm going to copy this link. If you guys have a hard time with editing this, let me know and I can change the permissions. But I'm going to put this in the chat right here. It should pop up.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Cool. So, you still working with your friends with the other group, or you are totally now independent with your group, or you're working on both?
Yeah, so I wanted to release this song with them, but they didn't want to. So as of now, this is my only song release under my name. But I'm still working with Lasting Effect. That's the name of the other band that I'm in. I'm also the singer and guitarist for that band. So we're still doing shows together. We got some gigs coming up in May, and we still record music together and all that stuff.
Awesome. That's great. So
are you thinking about doing anything further with your solo project though? You have more songs and other ideas you'd like to kind of work on?
It just kind of depends on how this one turns out. This one, I just had this really deep passion to make it. I just felt like it's something I needed to do and get the word out there. because it was a really strong conviction. But I don't know. It just kind of depends on how this one turns out. If this gets really good reception and a lot of good feedback, then maybe I might do another, controversial kind of song. So we'll just have to see what happens.
All right, cool. I have a feeling you'll be inspired somewhere to do something, bro.
Maybe a song about Freemasonry. Someone, I did a live stream yesterday, and someone was just making jokes, like saying you can make a song called like "Bash Your Head on the Firmament" or something like that, or Freemasonry handshakes, or they had some funny ideas. So there's endless possibilities of what you could do.
So you can do mixed genre, or you are more into rock, brother?
More into rock. I have some acoustic stuff that I've done by myself before, but I mainly like to stick to rock music.
Do you like any metal?
Not too much, man. Mainly just rock and pop punk.
All right.
Cool.
I was into metal as a kid. There's a lot of eye-opening music in heavy metal.
I will say though, in Lasting Effect, whenever we did a song together called Drift Away, and this was with my old drummer. He was into metal and heavier stuff, so we have my pop punk style on guitar and vocals, and we mixed it with his drum playing. And so whenever you hear the music, it sounds like metal mixed with pop punk. So it's kind of interesting. But if you look up Lasting Effect, there's a song called Now or Never where you're going to hear that metal kind of influence from the drums. I think you'll like it. And then at the end of a song called Drift Away, he does double kick on the drums. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of like a metal part right there too.
Sure. Very metal to have double bass. Yeah. Now the drums came out good on the biblical song.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, the guy we worked with, the guy that mixed it all together, he did a fantastic job.
And really very well produced, not overproduced. The video is great. The sound is awesome. Yeah, you can tell you put a lot of hours and sleepless nights into it, bro.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely shows.
Just want it to be the best of the best, man.
Oh yeah, it have all the ingredients to be, to wake people up. That's important. And music, as even Gene you mentioned, is the vibration more right, that is reaching, right?
So music can bring you back in a memory like instantly. 2 notes of a song, and it's like 20 years regression instantly. For good or sad or all kinds of emotions come through music, man.
Yeah, I've had some people. Sorry, go ahead, Gene.
No, I was just saying inspiration also. You never know what you can get out of a song.
Right. Yeah, it touches people in different ways. I've heard, because I did a live stream earlier today and one yesterday, and some people have said, man, this brings me back to high school, because a lot of people listen to that kind of style of music growing up. So it's pretty funny to hear about that, because it definitely takes me back too, because I love listening to this kind of stuff growing up.
Yeah, it definitely reminded me of Green Day right away. It's got it's got that style, but it's still unique, which is cool. I definitely like the blasts on the snare and the drums. I'll use it for a metronome now.
There you go.
Definitely.
I appreciate you, Gene.
Yeah, same here, bro. Same here.
So should we play it? I hope you don't give me a strike, Brandon.
No strikes, man, because there's already been a few other YouTubers that have uploaded the music video, so I'm all supportive. If you want to upload the music video to your YouTube page, you can do that too.
All right, so I can play it, right? So here we go, guys. Enjoy. A lot of effort, love Brandon has put into it, and we all should take this far so that it reaches every corner. Right. Soon I will be having also on my YouTube and on my Facebook, share it in hundreds of groups so that it reaches everyone.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
That'd be great.
Enjoy, and we're gonna discuss after that. Biblical Earth by Brandon Leavell.
To launch in 3, 2, 1, liftoff.
upside down. We're on a fixed extended plane and on a fake merry-go-round. And everything that falls down, it's got the density. No one's sticking to the ground from the weight of gravity. I believe in the biblical earth. It's not a boy in the one who doesn't curve. I believe in the biblical earth. It's not a boy in the one who doesn't curve. Waking up to the moment when you discover NASA's just a hoax. The time satellites to helium and uses CGI to make a globe. The Antarctic ice wall holds it all the sea, but it's blocked off to explore since the 1959 treaty. And everything that falls down is cause of density. No one's sticking to the ground from the weight of gravity. I believe in the biblical earth. It's not a boy in the one who doesn't curve. I believe in the biblical earth with the dome, a firmament. Now I'm taking a stand for the biblical earth. Psalms 19, 5 and 6. Sun will rise and let it circuit. Take the light with it as it moves along. Joshua 10 verse 12. The sun stopped and came to a standstill. Can't happen if you live on a spinning ball. I believe in the biblical earth. It's not a boy in the water doesn't curve. I believe in the biblical earth. It's not a boy in the water doesn't curve. I believe in the biblical earth. It's not a boy in the water doesn't curve. I believe in the biblical earth with the dome, a firmament. Now I'm taking a stand for the biblical earth.
Wow, that was freaking amazing. I'm freaking listening on my Pioneer, man. Felt like I was in a concert. Amazing stuff, brother.
Thanks,
Oh
Vikka.
yeah, people. Yeah, I was real pumped up, brother. Amazing stuff. This is
Awesome.
the best part.
I
This is
appreciate
the
it.
best part. Like the Flat Earth community has some amazing creative people, right? And many are gonna come, and we have here Brandon, right? So new creative, new artists here to rock in the community. Hope it goes everywhere, right? And we will do all our part as promised, brother, that it reaches far. So amazing stuff. Definitely people also like there in the chat.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys for joining the stream, and thanks for supporting and everything. And if you guys, I think you have the links in the description box below the video for my socials and for the music video and for the streaming platforms. But yeah, if you guys, feel free to add it to your Spotify or Apple Music. It's on all music platforms, so feel free. If you look up Biblical Earth by Brandon Leavell, you guys can find it on there. And let's wake people up, share the music video, and let's get it out there.
Oh yeah, we have a conspiracy music guru. We have few amazing people. Now we have Brandon in the Flat Earth community, another musician, right? Rock star. Awesome, brother. That's great. That's great. So yeah, tell us, brother, more you want to share about your experience with this amazing project.
Yeah, so let me. There's a couple things I had in mind. One, so it's funny because the guy that we recorded with, we recorded this. You would think it's in a recording studio. It actually wasn't recorded in a recording studio. This was recorded in a church, fitting for the song actually. But it was recorded in a church. It was this upstairs area, and they have this cool stage where the band members practice, and they have this podcast area. But we were just recording everything up there, and so. the guy that helped me record, he's the worship pastor at the church. And whenever we started recording, he didn't know what the song was about. You know, I wasn't sure if we wanted to tell him, because if he's a worship, you know, pastor, not a pastor, he's like the musician, you know what I mean? And he sings and leads worship at the church. But I was thinking, man, if he finds out we're talking about biblical flat earth, he might not want to record with us. So we didn't tell him. But of course, you know, as we go along in the song recording process, he starts to kind of pick up on it and everything. And after we're done recording the whole song, he's like, I've been talking to some friends of mine. He's like, I'm recording with this flat earth guy and it's pretty interesting. And his friends were asking him, does he believe this about the flat earth? Does he believe this? And he's like, I don't know. We'll have to ask him. And so they invited me on a podcast a couple of weeks ago. And so they were asking me all these questions, and, you know, they were genuinely curious. We weren't arguing. It was just cool. It was relaxed. And that podcast should be coming out in like a month whenever they edit it. But it was really fun to talk to them because they had no idea how anything worked. And it was just a really good conversation. But it was just a fun fact, you know, how the guy who doesn't believe in a biblical earth, he was part of the recording process. He helped me do those gang vocals on the verse 2. And then at the very end of the song, we chant dome and firmament and stand. And so it was a lot of fun. He was really good in the process. And then another fun thing too was, you know, in the music video, I thought it'd be so funny. Actually, a couple things. It'd be really funny in the beginning of the song to kind of like mock NASA and have the ready to launch in 3, 2, 1 liftoff. And so I wanted to add that in the beginning of the song because it's just so fitting to go right there. And then I wanted to add all the humor in there and have the astronauts playing guitar and everything, just to like slap NASA in the face and be like, yo, astronauts in a flat earth video.
How did you find that stuff? You found the astronauts playing guitar? Did you edit that?
Yeah, so I went to like Adobe Stock, the website, and I went to a few other stock websites, and I just typed in astronauts playing guitar, astronauts walking in the streets, and astronauts falling from the sky. And I just thought it'd be funny because it's like, you know, they teach us that, oh, astronauts are flying in space. Well, for the pre-chorus, it says, everything that falls down is because of density, nothing sticking to the ground from no made up gravity. So I was like, man, it'd be so funny to have an astronaut falling from the sky. And so it just fits so well. And there's just a lot of humor in the music video. That was just a lot of fun to add. And then even at the end of the song, I had the earth, the globe blowing up because it's like your worldview is shattered. It's not a globe. And so I wanted to have that blowing up at the end. And then another little detail too was before it goes to the bridge, it showed all those Bible verses popping up. And what happened was I synchronized that with the music. So whenever it was doing those paintbrush, the black and white paintbrush transition, that was synchronized with the drums. And then the verses were synchronized whenever that guitar hit. And so that took a lot of time to time that with the transitions, but I thought that'd be a really cool detail to add.
Cool.
So it was a lot of fun, man. Really fun putting it together.
Oh yeah, those small file details are important, right? To get the message across. So you said you used few verses. Which were them, and why specifically them? Yeah.
Are you talking about the text that popped up on the screen, or are you talking about the lyrics in the song?
In the lyrics in the song, you said you used some verses, right? Also,
yeah, so on the bridge, and by the way, on the actual music video, I don't know, whenever you upload it, you'll have to add closed captions. So if you click the closed captions button, it'll show the lyrics at the bottom of the video. Like on my YouTube channel, Brandon Leavell Official, it shows the closed caption lyrics below if you press it. But the lyrics for the bridge, it was Psalms 19:5-6. The sun will. So here's the lyrics. It's Psalms 19:5-6. The sun will rise and run its circuit and take the light with it as it moves along. Now the Bible verse doesn't say that word for word, but it's basically summarizing, because again, whenever you're writing a song, you have to make the lyrics fit like a stanza, you know, like you have so much time within that period to add words, if that makes sense. And so I couldn't fit like the whole Bible verse in that period. I had to find out how I'm going to shorten it and kind of summarize that part. And then the next part of the bridge was Joshua 10:12. The sun stopped and came to a standstill. Can't happen if you live on a spinning ball. And I just thought those verses would be good to put in there just to kind of show biblically, you know, like it doesn't make sense if we're on a spinning ball, like those verses wouldn't work out, you know. And then the reason I wanted to put the other ones in there, the text on the screen, like there was one from Genesis, there was one from Isaiah, is just to kind of get people to think. And hopefully whenever they watch the music video, that whenever they see those verses pop up, they'll be like, oh, I wonder what that verse says. Let me go look it up, to kind of spark some curiosity.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, I like how you did them with the paintbrush in between there too. It was a cool effect, you know, nice and simple, right to the point. That was cool.
That's another thing too, man. It was hard because there's so many different transitions that you can do, and I wanted
right.
to. I wanted to. I didn't want to just like have the clips fade into each other. I wanted to make them artistic and make each transition count. And so it was hard, man, having to go through hundreds of transitions and figure out which ones fit the mood of the song. And man, it's
You
crazy.
tried them, and did you try other ones? Take them out and keep replacing them.
That happened too. I would try some and I'd be like, no, that doesn't really fit the mood too well. And so I had to take it out, put it with something else. And it was kind of weird too, because there was an issue too on verse 2. Whenever I did that snow effect, the snow transition, it was pink. It was pink snow for a while, and I couldn't figure out why it was pink. And I had to message the support team, and I finally got it figured out. But yeah, man, it was just going between a lot of different transitions, and it took a while.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you had to say, all said and done, between writing and editing, start to finish, could you put an amount of hours you put into that? Do you have any idea what that really took you?
If I had to guess, like because it's weird too, whenever you start writing the song, you're coming up with a guitar part, and then you got to figure out the next guitar part.
Drums,
you got to figure
chorus.
out how you're going to structure the song, if you're going to add a guitar solo, if you're going to add vocal harmonies. Like, even whenever I was recording the song, there was things that I wanted to add in that I never thought about before as we were recording. But I would say all together, with writing the song, recording the song, editing everything, man, it had to have taken 500 plus hours at least. It's a ton of work. And then you got to rehearse it and make sure you got it down. The drummer came over a few times and we rehearsed the song until we had it down. And whenever you come up with the drum part, I'm just playing the guitar, and he's coming up with stuff on his own, and I'm just thinking, let's try this out instead of drums on this part, and let's tweak this part. And so it's a lot of creative process. Like, he had a lot of stuff he came up with on his own. There's a few things I had to mention, like, let's try this on the drums right here, it would sound really good. But on the pre-chorus, he had this really cool tom groove. If you guys are familiar with the drums, the toms, or it's not the snare, but it's the other. Yeah, so he came up with this really cool tom groove, and I just fell in love with it. So he had some creative parts to it too. But it's a lot of work for anyone who doesn't know about writing music. It's a lot of effort into making just one song.
Oh yeah, but 500 hours, guys. Listen to that. 500 hours. Imagine, like, with big projects, how many hours is involved. There is no accountability. There is no compensation, because you put more than you can or want, because you want it to manifest. Right?
Yeah. I think more so it's a passion project, because whenever you feel convicted to do something, you do it because you love doing it, even though it takes a lot of time. I mean, because whenever you're writing a song, you're thinking, like, whenever I'm at work or whenever I'm going for walks or laying down in bed, you're just thinking of the song. It goes through your head all the time about the melody, the lyrics, and it literally consumes your mind. It's crazy. But this is just something I had a passion to do, and just really glad that it's out there.
Oh yeah, that's why also I mentioned our community, that undertaking any project, when even I do the documentaries, just undertaking that responsibility. From the time you do something like that, it starts till it's finished, until it's out, you are in there, you are consumed by it. Like, even if you're doing anything else and you have to do anything else, that thing is just, so yeah, it takes a lot of energy and effort to do things like that. Yeah, absolutely, brother.
And then on top of that too, you got to market it. And I've spent so many hours reaching out to different flat earthers and YouTubers and TikTokers and Instagrammers and Facebook and Instagram ads. And then all the marketing's on top of that too, man. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. And things in the hand of the people, the community. We can create and put it out there. It's up to the community where they take it. So it's not only the job of the people who are creating, it's also equally important that the people take it ahead.
Right. And so
right?
you could spend, even on your documentaries, you guys know that you could put so much effort into something and then you put it out there and it might get 5 views or 10 views. And it's like, man, I put all that work in and, you know, you don't get a lot out of it. But again, that's where you do it for the passion, and, you know, hopefully people catch on and they share the same passion and want to push it out, you know, as much as you do.
Oh yeah, the people are waking up. People want the truth, right? So there is some hope. Yeah, this is the thing, right? But now we don't need big production companies and all this Masonic backup to be on a level, right? That they could manipulate your soul for you to get there, right? Now we are entertaining ourselves. We are the audience and we are the right content creator. We don't need anybody else. Like our community of flat earth or any other topic, we are consuming each other's stuff and content and sharing the truth, right? So all this big Disney and all this big production company and Hollywood is out of the ball, is out of the park, right? Now the technology has given us to a point that what we want to share, and the more freaking sometimes professional than these people, or more truth or more authentic content is created by people, right, online, than all that bullshit these people have been selling us for past 50 or 70 years, right? So that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, bro, that's a good point, Vika. You know, I've said that since I'm a kid, that, you know, I grew up in the city and there was a lot of bars around, have a lot of bar bands. And, you know, I knew some of the guys, I knew some of the bands and everything. And it was amazing, some of the talent coming out of the bars, that, like, they were never going to go anywhere, you know. And you saw that. They're like, these guys are like some of the best guys around in the city. And they just can't, they're just not getting pushed, you know. The people don't get it. But now it's different now, you know. So like they already had their bands already, kind of thing, in the 80s, 90s, and earlier than that. But now, yeah, Vika, this is all really changing the game for us and bringing out the creative, you know, the creative monsters that we are, right? You know, no, we're
it
definitely very creative groups, man. Group
it
of
is
people here.
there's a term for that, brother. It's called the flattening of the world, it's called. Why?
Wow,
Because the communications and everything. We remember how expensive it was in the past, even to make a phone call,
wow. That's
right?
true. You know, we used to wait till 9 o'clock in the United States to call out of your area code. If you had to call out of your area code, you had to wait till after 9 because the prices dropped. You didn't have to,
Yeah,
but you paid through the nose if you didn't. You know.
that's right.
Exactly.
Hey
And
guys,
they had
listen
the
to this
telegram.
sound. Watch this
Yeah.
sound.
I know this sound. I don't know if Brandon remember this, but we how you look quite young, brother. So how old are you?
Take a wild guess.
25.
What's your guess, Vika?
Yeah, 27.
30.
All right.
I'm
But
close.
but mentally, I feel like I'm probably 18 or 20.
Cool.
You know, we get
Oh, yeah.
older,
Stay
but
there.
we don't grow up, but we just get older. You know. Just wanted to
That's
say
true.
thank you really quick to Queen M and Joanne for the nice comments. Thanks, Joanne, for subscribing to the channel. Also, I wanted to touch on something you guys said earlier about, you know, how they're putting out all these, you know, you talked about the past 50, 70 years, they're putting out all these movies and videos and stuff. I don't know if anybody's heard about the new movie that's coming out in July called Fly Me to the Moon, but you've heard about that. So they're basically,
I've
what it looks
seen.
like they're showing how they faked the moon landing. And then if you notice at the end of the trailer, Scarlett Johansson, the actress, she says, "We should have hired Kubrick." You know, Stanley Kubrick, the one that actually faked the moon landing and filmed it. If you go look up the trailer, Fly Me to the Moon. And
I've
what
seen
they
it. I've
did is
seen
they
it,
made the movie
Yeah.
look like a comedy. And so whenever you watch the movie, it's like, oh, that was so funny. LOL. It's just a comedy. It's fake. It's just a movie. They didn't really actually fake the moon landing.
right.
But in reality, they're
make
showing
fun
you
of
how they
if
did
it was
it.
real, right?
Yeah.
That's
They
that's
wouldn't
the
do a
attitude
real
of the guy.
documentary on it. That's why they're making it a comedy.
Yeah, right. So they'll look at it and say, well, they wouldn't make fun of it if it wasn't, if they were, you know, they wouldn't make fun of themselves if it wasn't real. I think that's the attitude most people got out of it.
Should be an interesting movie. I mean, I want to go see it just to see how they faked the moon landing, because I think they're going to show how they really faked it.
Oh yeah,
Truth
there
in
have to
plain
be some
sight.
agenda. Absolutely, there have to be some agenda behind that, right? Maybe they are trying to balance their sins out by saying, you know, we are showing you everything by movie and experimenting on you guys on everything in every way. Why not this, right? The ones who have eyes to open will see that they're telling the truth. The others, as you say, oh, it's just a movie, entertainment. Yeah, but the movie they did do a lot.
Hey, it's
They
like the Truman
control us.
Show. They showed us in the Truman Show. You seen that movie with Jim Carrey?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That was a
that's what
good
they
one.
do. That was pretty good. I watched that for the first time a few months ago, and to be honest, the first hour I was like, "What is this movie?" I was kind of bored, to be honest. But the further I got into it, I was like, "This movie it's a masterpiece. They're genius for writing this."
Yeah.
And it started to make sense how, you know, everyone in the movie, like, they're just actors. And I didn't pick up on that at first, but as I started to get that, I was like, man, you know, the writers of this movie, they knew what they were doing, and they did a pretty awesome job with the storytelling and everything.
Hey, in that movie, when he bumps into the sky and breaks the sky open with the boat, and he goes up and touches it. Watch that clip real close. There's an F in the blue of the sky. It stands for the firmament.
Interesting. I didn't notice that.
As well as when he's touching it, his fingers doing this, and he's like,
huh?
And you'll see the F there. You know, scour that 10-second part. You'll see it.
I'll have to check that out. I didn't notice that. He does the 666 hand symbolism.
Yep.
Interesting.
I
didn't pick up on
right,
that.
and you'll see the F is like right here near his hand when he's going to touch it. Yeah.
It makes me wonder too in reality, because I noticed the further away he got from the shore and the closer he got to Antarctica, the waters got more rough. So it makes me wonder in reality if the waters really look like that, if it's more rough and dangerous the further out towards Antarctica you get.
It's probably the opposite. It's probably calm and gorgeous. There's probably, you know, it could be just a ring of roughness and then it calms down, you know. I don't know. I'm just kind of speculating, but anytime I hear from movies, you know, I automatically think what's the opposite, just so I'm not like looking here while they're pointing here, you know.
Yeah. Have y'all seen the movie The Hunger Games: Catching Fire? Because in that movie, it's at the end, you know, so they're in a dome, they're fighting under this dome, and you know, it's supposed to be the firmament. And then later on in the movie, I don't want to spoil too much, but there's a guy, you have to watch the movie and see, but he shoots this arrow, and I think it's like lightning or something, but it hits the dome and the dome breaks open and it falls down. And I think just one of those things in a movie where they show you there's a firmament, it's above you.
Oh yeah, in many games also they show, also in the other I don't know if it's a movie or a serial on Netflix, 3-Body Problem. They're literally showing you the dome is a computer screen.
Huh.
They are literally, it's like a LED screen. They're showing everything is just
I started watching that. I had a hard time getting through it. I'll go back to it.
Oh yeah, so they're telling the truth in the phase. Also in King Kong and in other games, they're showing the dome, like also like the Maze Runner is like getting out of the maze and going to the outer lands.
Dude, the Maze Runner is amazing. I love that movie so much.
It's freaking amazing.
So good. If nobody's seen the Maze Runner, please go watch well, they have 3 movies, but the first one is the best. It's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joanne, that's from the Hunger Games, what we were talking about. Yeah, Catching Fire, the Hunger Games. Go check it out.
Hey, Keith, how are you?
Hey,
Hey
what's up,
guys,
Keith?
hanging at the beach, enjoying the nice flat level horizontal horizon.
And
How
then
you-
nice weather
Nice.
down there too, man. It's chilly up here, bro.
Yeah, it's nice, hot down here, real hot.
Yeah, but they threatened us with spring about a month ago. It's been chilly ever since.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more earthquakes over there.
No, man. Not that I know of.
Hey man, I loved your song.
Thanks, Keith. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for creating it. It was one of the best. Have you heard James Galgano's song, his rap?
I don't think so.
Bro, it's awesome. You gotta check it out. James Galgano. Find him on Facebook or somewhere. They won't let him put it on YouTube. They took it down for hate speech, I think. But yeah, he's got a really good rap. It's unbelievable how much you put into it. But yeah, your song is one of the good ones too.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. What kind of feedback are you getting on it?
I mean, it came out a few days ago, but so far so good. I posted the music video. David Weiss from DITRH, he posted the music video on his app, and then he uploaded it to his channel. So it's, I think it's up to like maybe 3,000 views right now. And then I've gotten a lot of good comments on that. A lot of people said it sounds like Green Day, which, you know, if you heard earlier in the live stream, I said Green Day is my big inspiration. So it sounds like 90s, 2000s pop punk, and people said it takes them back to high school. And I've got a lot of good reception from people that have heard it so far. Whenever I was promoting it before the song release, though, I was posting on all these different Facebook groups, and there was a lot of trolls on there. So, you know, I got a lot of negative feedback on Facebook.
That's kind of what
Before it even came out, right?
Whenever the song actually reached the flat earthers, I've gotten a lot of good reception. I don't know if you heard earlier, but I did a few live streams. I did one yesterday with Hanging on His Words, and I did one today with Found in Earth Brothers, and it's been a lot of good feedback. So it's been good to hear.
Cool, man. Well, you just enjoy the ride. I just wanted to jump on and say hi, and congratulations for a great song, man. You did a good job with it. It does sound very professional.
I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're trying to share it. You know, I've had a lot of people being really helpful to share it. So if you want to help share it too, feel free to post it on pages, and hopefully we can get the word out to people. So I appreciate you, Keith.
I shared it, and I'll share it around a bunch more groups too. I'm active on a lot of groups, but anyway, Gene.
Yeah, why not?
I might try to jump back a little bit, but I got all the kids with me now. So
all right, Keith.
Man.
So
see you, bro.
When I have it on my Facebook, do share it in the groups. When I have it on Facebook, you're gonna reach a lot of people, Brandon. Sure, definitely.
For sure. Okay. Thanks, guys. Good night.
Thank you. Thanks for joining, man. I guess the reason why, you know, I didn't want to post the full music video on Facebook and Instagram is because I don't know, because I feel like if you put just a link on Facebook doesn't like to push people out of their platform to go to YouTube. So I don't think there's a lot of engagement if you post a link. But I don't know. I've just been kind of back and forth because I know a lot of musical artists don't push the full music video itself on social media. They usually have their music video on YouTube and Vivo and stuff like that. So I've just been going back and forth whether to actually put the music video file itself on YouTube, or not on YouTube, on Facebook and Instagram and all that.
One thing I would like to mention is, first of all, ignore the negative people anywhere. YouTube, Facebook, don't even look at them.
Yeah, bro.
You know, because that's what they are, bots, and they're gonna try to bring you down. And
those people probably don't even play music anyway, bro. They're just, you know,
exactly.
people love to put people down, man. Don't pay no attention to that.
Exactly, and especially Flat Earth is a sensitive one, right? Because they hate it, right? So you being your first song, right? Your my opinion, right? As a content creator, my opinion would be, for you being your first song, you should be everywhere. The song should be available to everywhere, everywhere, because your first song, right? You have to reach maximum people with your art, like, because my opinion, all right. There's a lot of music, there's a lot of content on Facebook. Facebook is one of the biggest search engine in all platforms. So if you make your hashtag, you can put your links and this, but if you really upload it or whatever, right? So it's gonna reach a lot of people, because the algorithm functions in a different way than YouTube, right? That's my opinion. It's your content, do how you like, brother. So that's my opinion. right? And ignore the trolls everywhere, right? Don't even entertain.
Yeah. Don't even go back and forth with them at all, bro. I wouldn't.
Don't feel it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
there's
just
no
been ignoring
need
their comments and respond to it. I guess what we could try to do is, if you want to upload the music video file itself, and then maybe on the caption above the video, if you just like include the streaming links for Spotify and Apple Music, it's the DistroKid link, and then people can watch the music video, and then they can click on that link to go stream it on Spotify or wherever they want to. We can try that out.
Oh yeah. The links, all the links are gonna be always there, brother. That's no worries. Even if it's in any format that we put anywhere, the links are always gonna be there, right? That's no problem.
I'm thinking if you could make some reels out of it, might be cool. There's reels of, I get caught flipping through reels. I'm like, shut my phone off. You get lost in there. So, if you had some reels going and then with links to the full song might help out.
Yeah, the weird thing is, I guess the algorithm doesn't like me on Facebook because I've made tons of shorter clips. I made a clip of the verse, I made a clip of the chorus, and then I post it with the link and everything, and it's not getting any traction. I've tried hashtags and everything, and for some reason,
No, brother,
it's not picking it up for me.
Yeah, because the Facebook is one of the most difficult platforms to get to reach the people, right? You don't have a page right now. You might have a page, but it's maybe very new, right? The algorithms are not it's not going to work because it's very new, right? That's why you're not getting the traction, right? So it depends how you promote it, and then maybe it's possible with different, because as I said, Founded Earth Brother is one of the biggest channel on Facebook. If these people also upload it for you, you don't know how many people your song is going to reach. That's just another advice. There's a 7 Lucas is asking, is this song in 432 hertz? That's a question for you, Brandon.
Is he's on TikTok, right?
Queen M was asking about TikTok, but 711 Lucas was asking if the song was done in 432 hertz.
I'm not that technical. I'm not sure the answer to that question. I don't really know.
Okay, so we'll mention you. Okay, you heard about solfeggio frequencies.
Yeah, I just, let me see. I have the file on my laptop. Let me see here.
Yeah. So the solfeggio frequency are like different frequencies, same like our 7 different energy centers. These frequencies are healing for us. Like, sound is healing. Sound is medicine, if you want to see it like this, right? So there are some songs which are made on 432, or those frequency are used because they work as healing. So what this Hollywood and all these fake pop song guys, all the new famous ones, they're not using 432. They're using another frequency that's not very harmonious for us human, because sound is vibration. It affects us. Sound affects everything, right?
I think they record at 440 now, Vikka. Is one of the popular ones. It's kind of damaging, actually. Imagine that, just 8 hertz off, and it's just completely different. Like you can't even measure it. But that was, purposefully done by the elites, or whoever's running this place into the ground.
You should look into it, brother. You, as a musician, you should look into solfeggio frequencies, right? It will, you will feel it. You'll feel the vibration, the healing, the message you want to give, right? It changes a lot, because
there's apps
it's like
you could get. You can right, Vikka, there's apps you could get and download it and fall asleep to different solfeggio frequencies. It's beautiful, man. In different styles, different types, different numbers, different. Oh, bro, it's a lot like, it's similar to chymatics. If you're into the chymatics with the old churches with the stained glass and the patterns that match sound frequencies, right? You ever heard of that?
I haven't.
Exactly.
I haven't done a lot of research, and I've heard about the healing of sound frequencies. I just haven't looked too far into it as far as how the science works. But I've heard a little bit about it.
Oh, it's cool, man. Wait till you get that, bro. You're gonna
So
love
even
it.
it was part of the Bible also, brother. Solfeggio frequency. These are the words. The verses are also having those frequencies, right? If and also if you are so connected with the Bible and also look into solfeggio, because maybe it can show you things in a way to also heal people with your music, right? Because these organs were calibrated to these different frequencies. That's why these cathedrals were healing centers. People used to go there to heal with these sounds, these frequencies, and the energy that is coming through those to that cathedral, through the towers, right? It was a spiritual place, right? So it's so much also ingrained with Christianity, but the people don't look into it in that way, because it sounds like frequency, energy, and vibration or something. No, no, no. It was part of all cosmologies, and also it was part of biblical and stuff and cathedrals, right? Because it was part of us as a practice, right? As you say, Gene, the cymatics, the windows, why they are like that. Those are the numbers. They are telling the frequencies that they are working on. So what happens with those frequencies is that like 7 different points we have in our body, right? We are part of the divine. So every point in the body is like a endocrine system that works on those frequencies. So you could heal, or you could synchronize the energy or flow of the energy in these energy centers in our body. In the East, we call the chakras, or the 7 heavens, or the 7 spectrum. It's the same thing, right? So it is telling the different things that works, because we are also sound, and sound helps us to calibrate those points, right? A voice is another center. We speak, right? Our eyes, we see, right? Our heart, that the 5 to 8 frequency, right? So it's all amazing. Sound is the creation of this universe. Started with the sound, right? The sound is, yeah, it's amazing stuff. The solfeggio, you can even buy those frequency stuff. You hit it like this, and you just ring in for maybe 5 minutes, that frequency. So using those also as a bass sound, or as as a background, or as atmosphere, right? Amazing stuff. Yeah, and it will help a lot to the community. We need that. The community needs, apart from the truth, the community needs to.
Right vibrations, man. Yeah. Hey, Brandon,
Sorry.
did you know that a cat's purring is a healing frequency?
I did not know that.
Bro, yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah,
And
brother.
that's one that science will even admit. That one is saying, oh, we found studies. It's good for tissue and muscle repair, and lowers your heart rate. All kinds of good stuff. Yeah, bro.
I guess we should all buy 10 cats.
Cats to the jam, brother.
Oh yeah, the cats. Oh yeah, all the animals have like, in a way, that feeling of, because they always touch to the nature. They are grounded. They are flowing energies really well. That's why when you're around, and cat, as you say, even dolphins are said to cure many kind of diseases. There are people who do dolphin therapy. They swim with dolphins, because there's a kind of sonar that the dolphin emits that is healing for humans.
Interesting.
This is sound therapy. All right, sound is like, as I said about, I also have singing bowls. They're called, made of 7 metals, right? And you play those, and there are different frequencies ones, and you can play them. These things can open portal. This sound, that vibration of those bowls, you must have seen. Also, there's a lot on the web, singing bowls or Tibetan bowls, right? Or even the gongs, the big ones, the sounds they have. Holy shit! They just rub that gong a bit, and it's like you are like in some space that we cannot imagine the sounds that comes out of these objects.
Bro, that reminds me of the bells in the churches. The bells were all taken out because they rang at a healing frequency for the whole town and past the town, I guess, too.
Oh yeah. Why do you think I play the music that I play? For me, it's a language. For me, electronic music is a language because I've been following since the birth of this electronic, right? So I understand the sound, like what it can do, right? So yeah, amazing. For me, it's a language, amazing language of that is not but that everybody can understand, right? In a way.
You know, even with sound, they can levitate rocks. So there's theories, people speculating as to whether or not they built the pyramids with vibration, sound. But guys pulling ropes up dirt ramps doesn't seem likely.
They had to have had some kind of advanced technology to do all that.
Yeah, right. We couldn't even level something like that right now. And if you're off, a half an inch here and there, it wouldn't have the perfection it has. And we can't do that stuff today. So, I've even wondered if stuff like that wasn't part of the creation. I don't know. It's crossed my mind once or twice lately. But, the star forts and the waterways, the cathedrals, the churches, all those old buildings, any of them, the post offices, police stations, the hospitals, the insane asylums. It's just like, how backwards are we? Or sometimes, I wonder, did the pyramids just grow? Were they put here for us with part of creation? I don't know. I like to speculate on stuff like that because we're not going to get any real definite answers. So
It's true.
at least not from the narrative, right?
Oh yeah.
Can't trust the mainstream.
Oh yeah, that's why we need the truthers.
Yeah, and the community's growing more every day.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully
we will
there'll
be
more
playing.
meetups.
Yeah. Sorry.
I was saying, hopefully there's more meetups because I've been looking around for some meetups around the area, and there's not a whole lot. I know in the U.S. they have like one. It's called Flattoberfest. I think they have one meetup every year. I think that's about it.
Flattoberfest.
But where are you? Where are you? You're
I'm
in Texas, right?
Texas, yeah.
Yeah, but there have to be a lot of flat earthers, and you can make some local meetups. If you're on David Weiss app, for sure, and you can organize one in no time.
Maybe so. I saw a comment from 711 Lucas. Thanks, man. I appreciate that you like the song. How long ago have I come to the conclusion that the Earth is biblical? We mentioned that earlier in the stream. I know you probably jumped in just a little while ago, but to answer your question, it was around 2021. I was telling Vikka and Gene that it was shortly after 2020 when we started seeing everything going on in the world that my dad sent me this video about Freemasonry, and I watched that, and that tied into NASA. And then after that, my dad sent me this flat Earth video, and I watched that, and I was that's when I started going down the rabbit hole. But at first, I was like, yeah, the Earth's not flat. I said if the Earth was flat, you'd fall off the edge. But I looked into it, and it's not a disc flying around in space like I thought it was. It's reality. And so it's really cool waking up to the truth like that.
Oh yeah, we can ask if you want to answer the people in the chat. We can invite people to say hello and if people have question, if you want, Brandon.
Sure. Yeah. If anyone has a question, if anyone wants to talk, then yeah, let's do it.
If people want, I'll just leave a link now. If people want to just jump up with a question or say hello to to Brandon, to us for 10 minutes. So anybody can jump in. I'll just leave the link now of the stream in the chat. So maybe looks like Lucas wants to come up, or just give me a couple of minutes, guys. Go ahead if you guys want to share something.
So what other kind of songs does your band do, bro?
So it's kind of the same style as what we heard from Biblical Earth. It's that kind of pop punk rock sound.
All right.
And so I was saying, if you guys like how that song sounded, if you look up the band Lasting Effect, I'll type it in the chat and you guys can see how to spell it. So if you look up Lasting Effects, then you'll be able to check it out. But like I said, I have some acoustic songs on there, and then I got some full band songs as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I was just thinking, we got a friend in, where is Rob? Rob's in the Netherlands. He plays in a band. He might like to have you on his show. He's called Disorganized Productions. I'd like to hook you guys up if you think that's a possibility. He's a great dude, man.
Sure. Yeah, I'm open to it. That'd be cool.
All right, cool. Are you on Facebook? How do we get in touch? Instagram, Facebook? Where's the best
all over, man. All over. I'm on. So the social links that I have behind me, those are. I made those social links for this song promotion. Those links aren't actually my personal profile. I do have personal profiles though, but yeah, those are. If you reach out to me on those platforms, the TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, on those social platforms, I can be reached there, or even on Facebook. I didn't include the Facebook one as well, but it's just Brandon Leavell, and there's a picture of me playing guitar.
Cool, man. Yeah, we'll definitely get that going.
Oh yeah, we can hook him up for Disorganized Productions, also for Firmamental Podcast.
Yeah,
gonna reach a lot of place, brother.
Melodome. Great guys we've been hooking up with lately, man. Shout
The
out
ones
to all
I
you
have-
guys. What's up, brothers?
The one I have so far, I'm actually doing a podcast with Firmamental on this Thursday, and then I'm supposed to do one. I'm supposed to do one with
Josh.
Yeah,
Josh.
Josh.
I was on Josh last week. I was on Josh's podcast last week, and we were speaking, and he mentioned also that you're gonna be there. When I mentioned that we're gonna have you also on our podcast, so that's great.
That's what he was telling me. He told me that you guys were talking about me and the song release on y'all's last get together.
Oh yeah. So I've just left the link of the StreamYard. If anybody wants to jump in, say hello, or with some questions, the link is right there.
Yeah, come say hi, guys.
Here.
It'll be good to see you.
And then next Sunday, I'm doing a live stream with Flat Earth Banjo. So that should be fun.
Eddie.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. Eddie Allencoff.
Yeah.
Eddie is in both of the documentary.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he did 16 emergency landings to prove the Earth is
also
flat. He did. That's his book.
That's his book? I didn't know that was his. I've heard about that book. That's really cool.
That's Eddie.
That's really cool.
He's a great dude.
So where is he located? What country?
He's in Japan.
Oh, really? Japan? That's awesome. I would love to go to Japan.
How'd you hook up with Eddie?
Man, I had the song release coming out, and I just messaged tons of different YouTubers and social media influencers, and I said, hey, I got this song coming out, and I know that the Flat Earth community is really supportive of each other. Like I said, I mean, I made those business cards. I spent my own money to share the truth with people. So like I said, I don't make any profit off that because I just share other people's videos on that. So we're just all really good at sharing the word together. So that's really cool that we're all supportive of each other. But yeah, I just reached out to tons of people. I said, hey, here's the song. Here's the music video if you want a preview of it. I sent them a private link. I said, don't share it with anybody. And then they liked it. And we scheduled a time to do the live stream together. So that's how it worked out.
Nice. That's cool. Awesome. He's a good dude.
Oh yeah, the people. Yeah, go ahead, Gene.
What's up, bro? Sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I just was saying we haven't seen Eddie here in a while.
Oh yeah, because of the time differences. Yeah, the hours are freaking too. Like when he goes live, it's like 3 a.m. for me, and for him also to come at our live. That he's like too early for him. It's like 4, 5
Like
in the
7 in the
morning.
morning or something. He's got his
Uh,
kids running around and everything. Yeah.
True Earth Cherry Chopper. So what do we have to do to get your band on board with Biblical Earth? I don't know, man. I'd say so. At the time that I was trying to get them on board, it was the drummer and guitar player. We were still looking for the bassist at the time. We got one now, but at the time we couldn't find a bassist. The guitar player, he was on board because, I mean, he doesn't believe in it, but he's like, oh, it's just a song. It doesn't really matter if it's flat or round. Let's just do it for fun. So, but the drummer, he was just like, it's like, that's dumb. And he was just like, he just totally wasn't on board with it at all. And he's like, the thing that he didn't get was the verse where it says, we're standing right side up, no one's upside down. I was like, dude, I said, if you dig straight down through the earth, if you could pop out on the other side, if it was a globe, somebody would have to be upside down relative to your position right now. And he's like, no, they're standing right side up. Nobody's upside down. And I said, dude, it's a ball. If you dig through the ground, someone has to be upside down. And he could not, like, it was just like talking to a wall. So I don't know if we're able to convince him.
Drummers.
So I don't know if that would happen with the drummer. But if I got a drummer on board, it'd probably have to be this one behind me. His name, well, he didn't want his name fully released for this song, so he went by the Drum Sanity is his stage name, I guess, for drums. I think the Drum Sanity is his name on TikTok, and so he does drum covers. He's in a different band too, so he's on board. So we got that.
Drum Sanity on TikTok.
The Drum Sanity. I think it's either TikTok or Instagram. That's his username on there. So if you guys want to check him out.
Oh yeah, and TikTok. At least me and Gene are new in the TikTok community, but yeah, we are getting there slowly. We are doing a lot of debates, and I'm doing a lot of debates with many PhDs and astrophysicists and all kind of bullshit there. Right, they're claiming the
somebody
Glovers.
was talking about you today, Vikka. I'm not sure who it was, saying you had a really great debate. I missed it though, man. So was that today?
Oh,
you wrote that today?
Yeah, also in the morning, a bit. Then yeah, a couple of hours a day, not a lot, but yeah.
Cool.
Oh, we have a caller here. Kay.
What's up, Vikka? How are you? How are you guys?
How are you, my
brother? To hop in, when you're live.
Oh yeah, we just opened the link for stream to speak and say hello, and also to Brandon to get some feedback.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's good. It's good. You guys are doing great. Trust me. It's great. It's great to see people joining up and new people, adding, giving information out, talking about vibration, frequency, chakras, and east and west. That's what I love. And yeah, you already know about the thing that I'm working on too. So I'm working on a podcast session for my community that will be Nepali, South subcontinent, the Indian subcontinent people. And I see a lot of people because in the East or the colonized nation, they already have the English language, right? So most of the people are very common with English. But in the Asian community, the English is still, it's a luxury to speak English. So not all people are very good at English, and not all people know what they're talking about in Western civilization. And if you talk about flat Earth, they go to Bible. Okay, oh, you're promoting Bible. Oh, you're promoting Christianity. Oh, but they have never read their own scriptures. They have never re-verified their own history, right? So I'm trying to do that first, and slowly I'll be calling out people like you, David Ware, Santos Bonacci, and slow by slow, I'll be connecting with the international community so that, hey, look, Nepal is like a small pond. We don't have much people about speaking English, so I'll be the translator, and here you go. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Awesome. Great, man. Great. Yeah, we all have to put in our effort from everywhere. So yeah, do share Brendan's song also with your community, brother, on your
Oh,
Discord,
well, sure, 100%,
Telegram. Absolutely, brother.
100%.
That's why we all are
Well,
here for.
I'm
Yeah,
still
go
at
ahead.
work, so I'm just hopping by for you guys to, hey, don't forget about me. So that's all for right now. And I love you guys. Stay connected. Gene, do whatever you're doing because of whatever you're doing. Brandon,
Good
I'll
to see
promote
you,
your
bro.
song too. So yeah, we'll catch up, okay? In the chat or Messenger or Flat Earth
Oh
app,
yeah, bro.
whatever that is.
Oh yeah,
Appreciate
brother.
that. Love and bless.
Absolutely. Thanks for passing by. Oh, absolutely, brother.
Cool.
Who else is want to jump in and say hello to Brandon? Come on, guys. Come up. We have at least 30 minutes more. We are here. So if anybody wants to, is welcome. You don't have to do a video. You can do an audio like how Kay just now did.
I guess while we're waiting on people to join in, there's a comment that I just saw that made me think of something I forgot to tell you guys about. Just a little interesting
go ahead.
story.
Go
Dr.
ahead.
Frankenstein said if the church pushed the biblical earth, everyone would be a flathead earther. So what happened was, and that's very true, I think a lot of mainstream mega churches are probably afraid to preach about it. And I think maybe they might either be afraid to preach about it or they just don't know about it. But what happened was whenever I made those cards that I told you guys about with the QR codes that links to the videos, I went to all these different churches. I put these cards at the church doorsteps. I took them in. I said, hey, give this to the pastor. And I probably went to like 100 different churches. And I never heard back from anybody. But I went to a mega church that's really close by to me, and I wanted to talk to one of the pastors there because I think it's important that churches get it out, you know. And so I talked to one of the pastors there, and I don't know if this is true or not, but something tells me maybe the pastors think they have an ego to where they think to themselves, you know, I've studied seminary, I've been to school for this, I know the Bible better than anybody, so you don't know what you're talking about. I've studied this longer than you. I don't know if that's what they think or not. But whenever I told him about it, I told him about scripture in the Bible. I showed him videos and stuff like that and pictures, and it got kind of, he's like, okay, like he listened respectfully, but it was just kind of like, okay, but no, it's not. And I don't know. I think they just kind of brushed it under the rug. And, he was saying how he has an astronaut friend. He's like, my friend's an astronaut. He's been to space. And I said, is he a Freemason? He's like, no, he's not a Freemason. It's like, come on, man. If he's been to space, he has to be a Freemason.
He said he has a friend who's been to space.
Yeah. He's an astronaut. And another interesting story too. I don't think I told you guys this. Did I tell you guys how I confronted an astronaut who claimed to walk on the moon?
Nice. How'd that go?
I didn't tell you guys that. Okay, so there's about four remaining astronauts who claim to walk on the moon that are still alive. Have you guys heard of Charles Duke?
I don't think so.
So I forget what year he claimed to walk on the moon. It might have been like 72, but he claimed to walk on the moon, and he came to this men's conference at a church near my city. And this was back in February. And on that day, my dad sent me that link that he was going to be there. And I was thinking to myself, it's an hour away. I got to wake up super early. It was really cold that morning. And I was thinking, man, I really don't want to go, but it's too early. It's too cold. But I pushed myself to do it because I was thinking this could be a once in a lifetime opportunity that you get to talk to someone who claimed to walk on the moon and you get to question them about everything. And so we ended up going. I went with my brother. And we both believe in a biblical flat earth. And so we get there and they had a nice breakfast laid out. Everyone's getting their breakfast. Everyone's finding their spot to sit down. And then Charles Duke gets called on the stage and he starts giving his presentation about how he landed on the moon. And so he's showing all these video footages of their, the moon landing. They're showing them the whole trip pretty much. They're showing them lifting off in the rocket. They're showing them on the moon. They showed him doing push-ups on the moon. But whenever you look at it, dude, it looked like he was tied to a wire harness. The way he was being pulled up and everything, you could tell how fake it looked.
Push-ups on the moon.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Trust Cherry Popper. I mispronounced actor not. astronauts. So yeah, they show the footage and then they show him coming back down to Earth. And then after he gets done with his presentation, he's like, yeah, you know, and then after I came back, I became a Christian, and he's talks about God and everything. And I'm just sitting there kind of laughing to myself. My brother and I look at each other, we're laughing because it's like, dude, like, he knows he never went to the moon. He knows it's fake, just like we do. But everyone else who's watching, they're just eating it up. They're like fangirling over him. He's like, oh my gosh, you're an astronaut. You walked on the moon. And but it's funny because everyone that was there, you know, these are guys in their 50s and 60s. And so back whenever he walked on the moon, these men were probably kids, 10 years old. And so back then, you know, Charles Duke was like the superhero. But after he got done with his presentation, he had books that he was selling. So everyone's buying his book. Everyone's lining up to take a picture with him. And there's hundreds of people wanting to talk to him. So me and my brother, I was like, man, we got to wait to the very end of the line. So that way we're not rushed to talk to him. And so we let everyone's rush out, man, because I'm not going to be rushed talking to him. Everyone rushes to talk to him and they get a picture with him. They shake his hand. And I have a completely different conversation with him than everyone else, because everyone else is just going crazy about him. But my brother gets before me and he's talking to him about all this other stuff, you know, not related to biblical earth. But then I get up to him and I notice his body language too. It changed because whenever he's talking to my brother, he's kind of looking down, he's looking around, looking at his Bible that he's holding. He's not too engaged, it doesn't seem like. But then I talk to him and I was like, I was respectful too. You know, I started out by saying, you know, Mr. Duke, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for coming out. You know, I grew up learning about NASA and the space and it was so cool. And then I started talking about the final card video that I watched about how it talked about exposing NASA and the firmament and everything. And then talking about the flat earth. You know, I never said you didn't go to the moon, but I was talking to him about how the earth is flat. And I even showed him a picture of a NASA document where NASA says it's a flat, non-rotating earth. He didn't comment on that, but I showed it to him. And then I showed him, you know, what it looks like 120,000 feet up in the sky. You know, it's not a fisheye lens. It was a regular camera. And he's just kind of like brushing it off. He didn't really say too much about it, but he was kind of trying to counter it by saying, well, you know, what does it say in the Bible? Isaiah 40:22, God sits above the circle of the earth. And this guy, this astronaut, he's 88 years old, I think. But to be honest, for being 88 years old, he's really sharp-minded. He knows what he's talking about. And I finished it and I was saying, you know, it says God sits above the circle of the earth. And I showed him a picture of the firmament and everything. And I said, if God's looking down from the earth, it looks like right behind you, the map that you got, it looks like a circle, you know, for God being up there. And then I said, in the verse, it also says that God stretches the heavens out like a tent. And the inhabitants are like grasshoppers unto him because he's so high up and we look so small to him. And so the tent is the firmament. And we just talked about that a little bit. And yeah, exactly. I said a circle isn't a ball. It's totally different things. And, you know, I remember towards the end before we got cut off by the pastor, the pastor kind of broke us up. He was saying, I can prove to you that we live on a ball. And he was saying about the North Star. He said, the North Star, he said, start walking towards the North Star. What happens? And it gets right above your head. He says, that's because we live on a ball. He says, if you keep on walking, then you fall off the edge. And I said, no. I said, Antarctica holds in all the water. But I also said, you know, if something's far away from you on the horizon, you know, whenever you walk closer towards it, it gets higher above your head because of perspective. Like if you're walking down a long hallway and you see the lights on the ceiling that look low to the ground, walk towards those lights. They get closer and they get further above your head the closer you get to it. And he responded, he said, no, that's not true at all. And then he said, son, I'm not going to argue with you whether the earth is flat. And he said it kind of loud to where the pastor would hear. I think he was trying to get the pastor's attention to split us up because he knew I wouldn't stop. And then the pastor comes over and he's like, all right, we've had enough. And we've had other people waiting whenever there wasn't really anybody waiting. But then, you know, Charles Duke shook my hand and then he walked off, and that was pretty much it. The pastor didn't want to hear about it. He wasn't interested in biblical cosmology, even though you think that he would be being a pastor. He wasn't interested. So kind of disappointing, but that's just the reality. It seems like a lot of pastors aren't really interested in it.
I have a cousin who won't talk to me about it. I tried once and that was about it. They don't want to hear it.
Yeah, a lot of people are closed-minded, sadly.
I have another cousin. He's kind of like a chemist, you know. He's book smart, and He wants to argue with me about it. He doesn't. He gets hot headed over it because I think he knows he's wrong. Pressurized systems with no container and flat water. Those two alone, he's like, "Rah." He gets really twisted up over it.
Hey, MBM in the chat is saying something. If you wanna answer him, hey MBM, just below your comment, there's a link of StreamYard. If you wanna come, you can say hello and say what you wanna share about that, the notes and everything. We have still a bit of time, so we can take few guests.
Brandon, so you played the bass and the drums. I mean, bass and guitar, right?
Yes, yeah, bass and guitar. So on the song, the instruments we got drums, we got bass, we got guitar, and then if you guys caught on it on the pre-chorus, and then on the choruses and the bridge, there's some ooh. The vocals go ooh. So we have that in the background. Some people might think it sounds like a synth in a way, like another instrument, but yeah, those are vocals too.
I like the drummers' backing vocals. They came in nice. They were clean.
Those are actually mine, believe it or not.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah,
Cool, bro.
yeah. Usually, a lot of times, the lead vocalist does their own backing harmonies too. Although sometimes other people do the backing harmonies. But yeah, I did
They gotta vibrate though, or else it's like.
The sound engineer, he said, whenever I recorded the harmonies, whenever we played it back and he listened to it, he's like, man, it sounds like a harmonica with how he said it was like perfect pitch with how the lead vocals and the harmonies went together.
Yeah, it was nice.
And it was really cool. It was a cool process doing the recording.
Awesome. How long did the recording take? You might have said that. I missed it though. What, start to end, how many hours were you in the studio doing that? Different times or whatever?
Man, I marked it on my calendar every single day that I went. So I think the first time we recorded the drums, and we might have done the rhythm guitar that day. I had to go to the studio probably maybe 4 or 5 times to knock everything out, because the first time was, drums and guitar, and then the next time I think was maybe bass and lead guitar, and then I had to go for vocals one day, and then I had to redo vocals, because whenever you guys record a song, you record about 3 or 4 different takes of the verse, 3 or 4 different takes of the chorus. So whenever you edit it, you can go back through and pick which take sounded best, and you can kind of mix parts together. Like, so on take 1 of the verse, if you like take 1, and if you like take 2 for some parts, you can actually use take 1 and take 2 and just pick and choose which parts you like best. But the lead vocals, they were kind of high up there for my pitch, so my vocals were shot and I was tired, and so I had to come back a different day to finish recording the vocal harmonies a different day.
Cool.
Joe, thanks. I didn't know you were on the Founder Earth Brothers live stream this morning. Thanks for that, brother. Thanks for joining in. I appreciate you.
Oh yeah, we have a StreamYard link up there if anybody wants to jump on quick to say hello to Brandon, to us. Any questions?
Mama. Some of the names are so great.
Oh yeah, this name is not very new. I think if it's a moderator also here. Yeah, for many years, brother. So yeah, absolutely, shout out. So here, John Spark is saying American Christians won't let what the Bible says get in the way of what they believe. Oh yeah, that's a crazy rabbit hole. Go ahead if anyone wants to add.
I see that as a good point, especially since after I tried talking to my cousin about it. He's got his own congregation on Long Island. He's got a church and everything following. He does a lot for the kids and everything. I see him take kids all over the place. But I tried pointing out a few Bible verses. I told him about the 200 Bible verses, and he wasn't into it. He's like, nah, man. He's a space fan, and maybe because he's involved with the kids, he doesn't want. I'm like, those are the ones you really want to talk to, though. But I don't see him a lot, so because if I did, I would definitely keep poking at him.
I've got a question. I've got a question for Gene and Vika. I was wondering because you guys believe in a flat, non-rotating Earth with the firmament. So, are y'all born again Christians, or where do y'all stand with your faith and beliefs, knowing that the Earth is flat and not a spinning ball in space?
You want me to go first, Vikka?
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. All right. I believe in the Creator. The Creator made everything in this wonderful place, and I think that the air is the Creator, not from the Creator, but it actually is the Creator, and there's no escaping that. And things like angels and stuff like that. Those are the voices in our mind, kind of thing. Trying to get us to do the good deeds or the bad deeds, and those are the angels and demons on our shoulder trying to get us on a better path, or on a slower path and take more time in the earthly realm. But as far as like any Bibles, I like them all. I find great truths and great information in a lot of the Bibles, and I don't really adhere to one more than any of the other ones, but I'm a God fan, and that's my flag, and that's what the only thing I'm a fan of is God, really. Everybody else, I love everybody down here. We're all brothers and sisters, and yeah, sure, I'm a fan of yours and Vika's too, but like, really, I don't. When I gave up listening to a lot of music and TV and all that stuff, I'm like, I'm not a fan of hockey, or that was one of the last things I gave up. I'm like, nah, I just want to talk about the Creator and the wonderful tools he's given us to help us navigate through this world, and paying attention to those voices in your head and knowing when the right ones are coming through is part of that for me.
I have a couple more, before we get to Vika, I have a couple more questions for you to see what you think, because I like learning about people and what they think and why they think the way they do. I think it's really interesting. And so I wanted to see what you think about, like in the Bible, it says that God is the star by name. And so what do you think about the stars actually being angels?
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that at all. If, I believe everything is angelic, I really do. Inspiration can come from anywhere, God could bring life into anything. I believe that. I may not see rocks walking around in my yard next week or anything like that, but that's just a vibrational thing. If we all lived in my world, we'd be having a lot of fun, man. It'd be a lot of creativity going on from a lot of really great people. And I think that's the school system stifled that out of us, But the stars, I think they're very linked to our nervous system, actually. I think somehow it's those invisible wires are connected to us, yeah.
Interesting. What do you think about what happens when someone dies? What do you think happens to a person when they die?
I would think, for the most part, we go back to the creation. It's a spirit world. It's not the physical world that we're so used to and that we love so much. Another thing that the school system and it seems the religions seem to keep hidden from us, that there is definitely a spirit world after we die. I know that. I don't believe it. I don't question it. I know that, as far as where, if, like down here, we're all on the same playing field, but we might be at different levels of understanding things. So where you end up in that next realm, could be debatable, but we go back to the creator with the angels, and you know, they don't want the negativity that we have going on down here, and it's being caused by just a few people relatively, you know. So, and that's where we got the choices, you know, and they're trying to build an army. God wants warriors that he knows are going to make the right decision in a time of, let's say, a possible conflict or something, where other souls and people are involved. They're not going to make these crummy decisions we got going on down there.
Interesting.
Oh yeah.
What
Oh
about you,
yeah.
Vikka?
Absolutely. Absolutely amazing questions. Yeah, we'll try to go one by one on them. But before that, anybody wants to jump on and say a comment or say hello? The StreamYard link is in the chat here above, a little bit above. So yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for those amazing comments. And yeah, I wouldn't call myself an atheist. I believe in a creator. I believe I have studied all the religion. I have felt it. I love all of them because all of them have some truth in it. For me, it's just like different flowers or different colors of the same spectrum or the same creation, right? Just proving the existence of that divine, right? We see it in this beautiful, intelligent design, this amazing realm that he's created for us, right? So I feel whatever you want to call it, God, creator, divine source, I feel it every day in me. I live it every day in me. That's the way I could define spirituality or religion that I follow, right? Connecting with the astral. Amazing. So, and the second question was, brother, about
Um, let's see.
stars or the death?
Stars.
Was
I
about
was,
stars.
yeah. Do you believe that stars are angels?
Oh yeah, absolutely. As I said, I have a whole podcast called Meeting the Seraphims. I have a whole podcast, not very far away, just a couple of few months back. Yeah, angels, light. The creation is so mysterious, and the ancients have tried to tell us, right? The angels are playing an important part. Our everything that is happening is seen in the sky, and the people who understand the sky knows what is happening or what's gonna happen, right? That is the work of those angels or lights or orbs or angles, if you want to call them. That's what they are here for us, right? To send us those frequency and vibration every day, a different one. And it's a story, it's our story written in the stars, right? So that would be my take. And the last one was about death, right?
Yeah. What do you think happens when someone dies?
We die, we are born only one time, the day we are born, right? And from that moment, we start dying every day
Right.
till we really die. That's for me is death, right? Uh, Life is a process of dying, right? We are created once and then we every day. So yeah, it's a freedom. It's next level. I think it is one of the most beautiful thing it's gonna be, right? For everybody, even if we have different opinions or maybe fear or anxiety about uh, everything is in us, right? The day we were born, so we have to complete the cycle. We have to go. We have to, right? It's a portal. We entered and we need to exit. It's a part of the deal, right? Yeah, just my
So,
take.
do you believe like in a spirit world, like Gene was saying, or where do you think your spirit goes after you die, or what happens?
We are part of this divine. We are just a small part of the fraction of this fractal that this divine source is, right? We are in manifesting in different ways, as mineral, animal, plants, humans, or any other possibility that we don't know of exists. We are just manifestation of everything that it is above, right? So different level, different things, and different evolution of the soul, of the spirit, of the spiral, right? That is also the stamp of the divine. That's where we go. We it cannot be destroyed, the energy. So we continue, maybe on a different plane, on a different level, or maybe here, right? So I think, yeah, we have, it doesn't just end here and that's it, because when we were born, we know that this sky we have not seen for the first time. At least I could say for myself. All right.
It's always interesting to hear about, because, you know, Vika and Gene have such different views about it. It's just really interesting to get people's perspectives and to really learn about, because people, like, I don't know about you guys, I guess I'm getting kind of deep here, but people don't really ask these kind of deep questions to each other. Like, I've never met you guys, but I think you guys are awesome and I love you guys. But whenever you meet someone, you know, they just kind of ask superficial questions like, oh, how's it going? Oh, it's going good. How are you? Oh, I'm good. But nobody actually stops to say, like, how are you really doing? You know, like, what do you believe about this? And that's how you really get to know someone, is by asking these kinds of questions.
Oh yeah, brother, we have gone into a lot of these things. Go ahead, Gene, brother.
I'm wondering, what do you think happens after we die, bro?
Me?
Yeah.
Man, biblical earth. I mean, I have to go with the Bible, you know. So what I believe, and this is the cool thing about biblical earth, whenever I learned about it being flat and having a firmament, is it made the Bible more real for me, because the Bible teaches this. And you know, so what happens whenever we die, and by the way, let me kind of back up before we die. Let me just back up for a second. So as a Christian, I believe that we've all done something wrong. You know, we've all sinned in God's eyes, to where we've either stolen, we've, you know, committed adultery, we've, you know, hated people. Some of us have, you know, not me, but people have murdered other people. And we've all done something bad. You know, even if you steal something small, like a pencil from someone else that doesn't belong to you. And we have a conscience for that. You know, we all kind of know what's right and wrong, and we, you know, we still choose to do the wrong thing. And in God's eyes, God's a perfect being, and in his eyes, since we've sinned, we're not perfect like he is. And so, due to, you know, it's like whenever you go to court, and if the judge looks at you and says, you know, you've murdered 3 people, you've raped somebody, you're going to jail for the wrong that you've done. And at the end of our lives, if we stand in front of God and we say, you know I've done all those bad things, but I'm also a good person. I've donated to charities. I've loved people. I've helped them out. I let this person stay in my home. But he's going to say, no, I mean, yeah, you've done all that, but, you know, a crime is a crime. A judge looks at you and they judge you based on the crime that you committed. It doesn't matter how many good things you've done a crime. And so, you know, he looks at those that have sinned and he says, you know, this is the punishment I have for you. And so I believe what the Bible says about hell, how those who aren't saved go to hell. And but the good thing is that God is such a loving and good God that he sent his son to die for us. And so God's perfect. His son lived a perfect life. He never sinned, never did anything wrong. And he was the sacrifice for every single person on earth who wants to believe in him. And if you believe in him, then in God's eyes, you're made right. It's like if you know, in court, let's take that court analogy again. If you go to court and you got like this stack of speeding fines, and, you know, the judge is like, man, you know, you got to go to jail, you know, you got all these fines against you. But if someone comes in there and they pay the fines for you, you can legally be let go. And so that's kind of what God's son did for us, is he took on all the penalty for himself. And so he paid everything for us. So in God's eyes, if you believe in his son, we're made right with him, and we're able to live forever with him. And so that's what I believe.
That's interesting.
Awesome, bro.
So I'm not sure if I'm clear on that. I got some thinking to do. What happens when you sin tomorrow? You make the wrong decision. It sounds similar to what I'm saying about having a choice of making the right decision or the wrong decision. comes from within. You know, I mean, we watch what goes on in the world, and we're able to determine what's right and what's wrong. You know, I mean, all the all the sins written in the Bible that we could be committing, and you know what I mean?
The thing that's interesting is we all have a sense of morality. We all kind of know what's right and wrong, right? We all can agree lying is wrong. We all can agree that rape is wrong. We all can agree on these things.
Right.
And we have to ask, well, where did this moral standard come from? It has to come from somebody, because we all believe in the same thing, right? And yeah, anybody that has their head on right. But
similar to it, right? Yeah.
But the moral standard comes from God. You know, that's how we have this conscience and we know right from wrong, is because, you know, God sets that moral standard, the God of the Bible.
Yeah.
And
that's when you got your north straight. You got you find your north, and you kind of guided on, and there's less chatter in your mind going on. It's to make the wrong decisions. You kind of flow with the right decisions. It gets, when you don't feed those negative thoughts, they'll eventually start to go away, and to the point where if they're not being fed, they don't want to be around you, because I think those thoughts are from like angels, angels that want the dark side to rule or the good side to rule, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think in a way that could be true. You know, if you dwell on those negative thoughts and temptations, I think you're kind of led to go down that road. But if you don't give into that, you're kind of right in a sense, they kind of go away. And so I think those are demons that try to influence people and get them to do the wrong thing.
Yeah, I kind of do too, which can prevent you from excelling in a better world, in the world of light, let's say, the truth world, where people want to stay living on a planet, flying around in a vacuum, chasing a nuclear furnace. Those are decisions that they're not making the right decisions, and then people like that, I brought up something last week, a couple months ago, that I saw. And in society, I'm sitting at a red light, and the people over there sitting at a red light, and the people over there going eastbound, there was an ambulance coming up behind them, and the light turned green, and all 3 or 4 of those cars went right in front of the ambulance. And I'm like, that's heliopsychosis right there, when you can't make them split second decisions properly. And they're chipping away at that on us, I really think they are. And more people are going to make those bad split second decisions, long-term decisions. They're going to just fail it. Not for me to say fail, but they, more people following the narrative are going to take the long road around things. This is kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I got a question in the chat. Queen M, do I believe in reincarnation? I believe we got one life. I believe we're born, we live a life. Once we die, I believe that's final. Our fate is sealed. And, if you're a born again believer, then I believe that you will have eternal life, just like the Bible says. And that if you're not a born again believer, if you haven't received the forgiveness from God for all the sins that we've committed, then I believe there's punishment for the sin that we've committed. Just like the Bible says, there's the lake of fire. So that's what I believe.
All right. So we are almost reaching our time limit for our podcast. So before we have our last thoughts about today's show, I just wanted to answer one question up here. And if there's another question for Brandon, right now you have time. If you still have any more questions. So till you guys come up with more questions, I wanted to answer one question here by, if you believe in God, how can you be an atheist, Vikka? I said I am not an atheist. I said I am not an atheist. If the people didn't hear it, I will say it again. I am not an atheist. The only thing is, I don't have to be on a particular religion to exist on this realm. Right? So, as I said, I have seen and I have been into every religion, and I see the truth in everything, and I respect everything. So I believe every race and every species have the same right to exist in this tent, the tent of the creator, right? So the more variety, it's better. So I think that is also a lot of it helps to understand the rest. You, if you want to understand yourself, understand the others around, and you're gonna understand yourself. My take would be that. Is there any more question for Brandon? I think not. So we can have our last thoughts for today. People, the links are in the description. Help Brandon to get far and wide. We need people like Brandon, especially with his niche, because we know that the Bible Flat Earth community is huge, right? And we need that the people of biblical beliefs wake up to the real cosmology. So I think this song has a lot of purpose in that. So, brother, absolutely awesome that you did that and you put it out. It's so much of effort and energy you put into it. We all are going to do our part to get it far and wide, brother. And last thoughts before we start signing out here, guys.
Yeah, guys, man, thanks everyone in the chat. You guys are the best. It's really great to see you and be hanging out with you on a day like today. We got such a great guest. It was a very exciting podcast for me. I like to talk about the vibration frequencies, and there's a lot. Tesla said that's where, when science really wants to wake up, they start looking at the vibration, energy, and frequency. And I think we covered a lot of that nice tonight. Bro, I'm really psyched about your song. I love it. I think the song is awesome. It's really super well done, man. You can tell you put a lot of time and effort into it, and it shows. And hopefully it pays off for you, man. I hope it goes further than you ever thought, bro. I think it has a lot of potential, bro. And pleasure having you on the show, man.
I appreciate it, man. It was a lot of fun,
Thank
and
you.
you know, even though we've only talked for 2 hours, it feels like we've known each other for a long time. So it's
Yeah,
crazy,
right. It
man.
is so cool.
It's cool that we can all connect through video. It's just one of those things. It's like, man, you know, Vikka lives in Spain, you live in the northern states, and it's like, man, I wish we could all just kind of hang out together, like in person. You know, I wish we weren't so far apart, man, because you guys would be cool to hang out with in person.
You know, I was in the I went to the pastor debate in Tennessee. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I watched it. I did. I saw it.
Yeah, I was there, and bro, I tell you what, I hadn't been on a plane for 30 years, and you know, one day I was like, I have to go. And we figured it out, and I got there, and it was so awesome that I highly recommend, bro. If you can get something going on, do it. Or if you can get something, find something you can get to, definitely go, bro. You'd love it. There's so many great people to meet, hang out, and have conversations with there. And then afterwards, months later, we had a few guests on that I met down there. I met Keith down there. It was awesome, bro. So if you can do something on the David Weiss app down there for yourself, bro, start it up, man. You'll be surprised who shows.
Yeah, the only thing that you mean like message people on there, right?
Yeah, and you can find out who's local around you. You know, maybe start something up yourself for locally. You know, I'm just suggesting, or you know, throwing ideas out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Gene.
Have you done that, Gene? Has it worked for you?
No, I haven't done it, bro.
Gotcha.
No, I'm not going to be the one to do it either. me and Nathan Thompson talked about it, but he lives in Nevada. I don't know if we're really going to be able to get something going. And be, you know.
If you ever swing by Texas, let me know.
Absolutely. If you're ever in New York, brother, hit me up, man. We'll go get some pizza in Brooklyn. I got some great spots.
I need to visit all the national parks. So if you got some national parks up there, I might have to take you up on that sometime.
Yeah, we got plenty of stuff. I live right near a state park. The state park is in my backyard. Donald J. Trump State Park, actually.
Donald J. Trump, the greatest president of all time. It's going to be huge. You got to rake the leaves with your hands. You never seen a greater president than me, believe me.
I got parks. I got golf courses. They're beautiful. You're gonna love them.
You're gonna love them. I can do Christopher Walken and Donald Trump for voice impressions.
Oh, that's great.
It's fun. At my job the other day, someone said it's going to be huge, and then I just busted out into Donald Trump. I said it's going to be huge, huge,
bigly huge.
We got to hear Vikka's Donald Trump impression now.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to November this year, though, bro.
It should be interesting.
Oh man. Oh, nerve-wracking.
Shout out to Melodome in the chat. Yeah, we are almost closing up. If you still want to join, come up and say hello, brother Austin, to Brandon. He's here if you want. We were almost closing off for today before we have our last thoughts with Brandon. And we're going to be playing the song before we, as we say goodbye here. We're going to play the song once again so that people can hear it again, that amazing song. So, yeah, guys, Brendan, last thoughts, brother.
I just want to say I thank you to everyone that's watching and joining us tonight, because we know that time is the most valuable resource that we have. And for you guys hanging out with us for 2 hours means a lot. And yeah, thank you guys so much for the support and everything. And go stream Biblical Earth on all the platforms and share the music video with everybody that you know. And again, thank you guys so much for everything. I appreciate you guys being on here. And again, thank you, Vikka and Gene, for being so awesome. Thanks for having me on here. And I want to let you guys know I love you guys. I love talking to you guys, and it's been a lot of fun. So I appreciate both of y'all so much.
Same here, right back, bro.
Same here, brother. Absolutely, it was a pleasure to have you here, brother. And that amazing song, we're gonna be sharing it far and wide. As I said, we will do everything that it reaches more people. And yeah, brother, keep going. Keep away the negative comments, because they are gonna attack you, because this is what happens. And yeah, brother, keep going. And the amazing work, keep creating. And yeah, people, there you have it. Brandon, the song is there in the description. Share it far and wide. So thank you, Brandon, for being here. I'm going to play our song as we say goodbye. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Brandon, thank you, Gene. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys check us out on the next episode of Heliopsychosis podcast. I'm going to be playing this song and then the outro. So have fun. Love you all, guys. That was amazing. And keep the vibration high, even if no one is watching. See you guys. Bye.
Night, guys.
Bye, guys.
Ready to launch in 3, 2, 1, liftoff.
We were tall on a spinning ball in the solar system mania. But if I dig straight underground, will I pop it in Australia? We're standing right side up, and no one's upside down. We're on a fixed extended plane and on a fake merry-go-round. And everything that falls down, it's got the density. But no one's sticking to the ground from the made of gravity. I believe in the biblical earth. It's not a boy in the one who doesn't curve. I believe in the biblical earth. It's not a boy in the one who doesn't curve. Waking up to the moment when you discover NASA's just a hoax. The time satellites to helium and use a CGI to make a globe. fed